fuck? Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. The story continues. Ronan notices the merchant's daughter looks familiar. She looks like a friend from his past life, only that in his past the friend was a guy. Ronan then decided to take a test, to see whether he was correct or not. Ronan leaned in and asked in the girl's ear if she had a dick. A dick? The lady took her time to process just what in the hell Ronan had asked her. As she was thinking and building up her anger, Ronan continued to tell her that she looked like she never had one. Just as he was about to finish his line of thought, a hand came flying to his face. Ronan thought how good the slap was. Crazy bastard, Ronan must have had a fetish. He remembered how the slap felt familiar. Ronan then concluded that the one standing in front of him was indeed his friend, Maria Sen. Maria Sen, when Ronan was a disciplinary soldier in a place called Armalan. Maria was the officer in charge of supplies. She had a great work ethic and was an easygoing person. But whenever there was a topic about dicks, Maria got unusually angry. With this came a slap. Ronan always wanted to know why, but never got a chance to ask her because she died on the battlefield. Back to the present, Ronan found the reason why. It turned out that Maria was actually a female. Maria, on the other hand, was fuming and was about to hit Ronan again because he kept laughing. She launched another attack, but this was held by Ronan. He instead hit her in the head and told her that he allowed it earlier because he asked her an inappropriate question. Estelle and Maria's father were shocked at the fight and quickly tried to break it. But alas, Ronan looked as though he was enjoying the mount. A while later, Ronan and Maria were having a conversation like nothing had happened earlier. Estelle was shocked. Ronan and Maria were negotiating on the price of swords and wand, as Ronan needed these items for training and for the exams to enter the academy. Maria then picked out a strong sword for Ronan and the best wand for Estelle. Estelle was excited to receive the wand. Maria then asked what type of magic Estelle practiced. Estelle answered shyly that it was telekinesis. Maria let out a huge smile, explaining that if had done well in the exams, she could get a scholarship. Maria turned her attention to Ronan and asked him what his talent was and what techniques he would use in the exam. To enter the Filian Academy, an exam must be taken to impress the professors. There are 2 exams, one written, the other practical. Maria told Ronan to forget about entering the academy because she thought that Ronan was talentless. She explained that most martial artists demonstrate their mana techniques, but Ronan couldn't even see or sense mana. Ronan looked at Maria with a dumb face. Maria tried to explain to Ronan, but he was not understanding Ronan. "You dumb fuck." She got 2 of Ronan's short swords. Ronan asked what would happen if she broke the swords in battle. She replied saying she would pay him back 3-fold. Mana is the root source of the power of nature. It exists everywhere in the world, however it's not everyone that use it. For one to use mana, one must be able to sense it. It takes at least a year for one to sense mana. The scene shifts to Ronan and Maria outside, about to engage in a fight. Maria thought Ronan would learn faster if she demonstrated to Ronan what to expect. Maria launched a fast attack towards Ronan. Ronan reacted fast and blocked her attack. Then after they exchanged blows, Ronan was surprised that Maria at a young age had so much pressure. Maria, on the other hand, was surprised that Ronan could defend against her without the use of mana. Maria's intention was to end the fight with one blow in order to discourage Ronan from taking the exam and becoming a laughing stock at the academy. But to her surprise, she was getting pushed back by this so-called talentless guy. As she was lost in thought, Ronan asked what she was thinking about. He pulled back his sword and slashed at her. But just before the blade could hit her, she came back to her senses, dodged while leaping backwards. She complimented Ronan, telling himself that he was not normal. Ronan then put his sword away and gave Maria some advice for her to improve her swordsmanship, while giving her his back and walking away. Maria shockingly asked Ronan where he was going, and that the battle wasn't over yet. Just as she was pointing at Ronan with her blade, it shattered, and Maria was shocked. And Ronan reminded her about the bet, and that she had to pay him 3-fold. Maria was then tapped on the back by Estelle, who then congratulated her on the fight. Just then, Ronan called for her, told him to hurry and that they were leaving. The next morning, Ronan went to collect his money from Maria, but to his surprise other extra goods were supplied. Maria also added for them some good study materials, some crash course she had used herself, to aid them in their studies. Ronan looked at Maria and asked why she was helping them. She then explained that he had found a liking to them and would like them to pass and attend the academy together. If it was up to her, she would have taught them herself, but because they were merchants, they had to move to the next location. She encouraged them to study hard. For the next few months, Ronan changed his diet to heavy meals and practiced by hunting monsters to increase his stamina and strength. He also tried to study. Though books were not his strongest point, the scene shifts months after to the day of the entry exams. Valen, the capital city. Estelle marveled at the big, beautiful city, while Ronan was busy telling him to stop, that Estelle's behavior made them look like city bumpkins. He then told him to enter the gates, for they would be late for the exam. Estelle noticed that Ronan had become bigger. Ronan made his way into the city. He had someone he wanted to meet from his past life. Gracia, a prestigious swordsman family. Ronan wanted to meet a genius swordsman who came from this family. He recalled that they were at around the same age, and that he would find him at the entry exam. Just had Ronan was in thought, Estelle then reminded Ronan of the bird, and the stone-like item the bird left in his hands. Ronan got the feather he plucked from the bird, then noticed that the professor he was supposed to meet was in the highest floor at the academy. Scene then shifts to the professor talking to the bird. As he was taking to the bird, his window suddenly opened, with Ronan behind giving a devilish smile. The professor was shocked. The professor gave a roar in fright, but Ronan was quick to explain that he was the one that saved the bird and showed him the feather as proof. The professor calmed down and asked why they didn't use the door like normal people. Assel was about to explain, but Ronan held his mouth. Ronan then produced the object left by the bird. He explained that the egg was left by his bird and wanted to know what was in it. The professor explained that it was rare for the bird to lay an egg so easily. He then told Ronan that he also didn't know what would hatch from his egg. The outcome of the egg would depend on the mana the egg absorb at the time if being laid. In the area of lava, a phoenix wrapped in flames would appear. In a place full of monsters, the egg laid would take the appearance of the monster, and so forth. Of course, the professor could analyze the mana coming from the egg to give an answer. However, the egg was producing all sorts of mana, so it was had to tell. So he then instructed Ronan to take good care of it. Ronan thanked the professor for his explanation. Had was about to leave the office, but before he could leave, the professor handed Ronan a map. He told Ronan that the egg needed a lot of mana to hatch, and that the map showed a place where Ronan could talk the egg to hatch. Please like, comment, share and subscribe to channel.